untap, upkeep, and welcome back to the channel if you've been here before. And if you haven't, please sit down, relax, and enjoy the show that we have for you today. So today I thought I would take a look at a fairly budget simic wizard deck using our good friend Radagast from the Lord of the Rings set. I built this a while back just trying to do some shenanigans because I actually have a Radagast just kind of sitting in a binder. It came from the one of the commander precons, and I think it has potential to be some funny shenanigans, honestly. But before we get going, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and you know, talk to me a little bit. Tell me a commander you've been trying to brew and maybe you need some help with, and we'll see what we come up with. Maybe we can make it a budget or we can go budgetless. I've got some things I'm working on down the pipe, so show me some love and let's see if we can't get them done. With all that said, let's jump into the deck tech for today. So we're going to look at Radagast, Wizard of the Wilds. He's blue, green, and 2 for a wonderful 3/5 Avatar Wizard. He has Ward 1, which already makes him kind of a pain for most decks to deal with, but then he gets even worse. So beast and birds you control have Ward 1. So every bird and every beast we have, they're also protected. So whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, you get to choose one. Create a 3/3 beast creature token, or make a 2/2 burp. That seems pretty logical to me. So the ideal thing is we want him to curve out 2 or 3 and then just start slamming some big dumb fatties. And boy, do we have some budget-friendly big dumb fatties. One of them is right here, Garuk the Primal Hunter. At a 5 mana cost, 3 loyalty planeswalker. He's got some heat behind him. So his +1 is you put a 3/3 beast creature token onto the battlefield. Not bad at all, because hey, we're gonna have beasts anyway, and they're gonna have ward, so not bad. His -3 is probably the one we're gonna use more often than not, which is going to kill him, but for 5 mana you can basically draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. So if you were to upgrade this a little bit and put like the new Galta, or if you really want to go crazy, put like one of the Eldrazi Titans in here, you could draw a load of cards with just that one card. But as far as a budget, we have some options that will work for it. We can also just -6 if we didn't need to draw the cards for whatever reason, and put a 6/6 worm creature token onto the battlefield for each land you control. That's pretty spicy if you ask me. So that's a look at our one planeswalker in the deck. And moving on to our creatures, this is going to be kind of fast, because boy oh boy, we got a bunch of them. So where do we begin? Well, let's start with our typical suite of little mana dorks. We've got the Llanowar Elves, the Elvish Mystic, an Arba Elf, and a Findhorn Elf. Typical, little rampy. We're even playing this guy, Kroyon the Gutsy Explorer. He's a 3-drop, but we can, first of all, tap him to add blue and a green, and spend this mana only to cast spells with mana value 5 or greater, or spells with X on their mana cost. So he's got a little bit of limitation, but we're pretty high on our mana cost anyway, so it'll be okay. And then we can pay a blue, tap him, we draw a card and discard a card. So he's a little bit of a looting effect, so not bad. Moving forward, let's look at some of the other things in here that might come of handy. So we're running this, which if you've never seen it before, is a really cool card from way back in the day. This is Krosun Warchief. He works just like most of the other War Chiefs for 2 and a green, a 2/2 beast with regeneration on target beast, but predominantly beast spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Now, we don't have a whole lot of beasts in the deck, but it does help a little bit here and there. Running Eternal Witness to be able to return something back from the grave after it's been killed. we're running the Disciple of Freyles so we can play it, kill one of our big dumb things, draw a bunch of cards. Hydrocrisis, like, we're going to be able to draw some cards when this thing gets really, really big. The Spellbreaker Behemoth. Now, this thing is a sledgehammer. So it's a 7-drop 5/5 indestructible creature. So you pay 1 and target creature with power 5 or greater gains indestructible until end of turn. Guys, we are in Simic. We will have the mana left to do this. Maybe not the whole board, but we're probably going to get pretty close to that. Moving on, we have Thunderous Snapper, who's just another way to draw some cards whenever we cast a big dumb spell. Steel Hellkite, because I am the Buddha Dragon, and I like having dragons in as many decks as I possibly can, even just one. Steel Hellkite tends to get overlooked because of the ability is kind of on the weak side, but I was just at my local game store, shout out to Cream Brothers, and he put in some work for me in one game. So I do enjoy my Steel Hellkite. It can deal with some problems when you need it to. Speaking of problems, we have the Trigon Predator, another beast, albeit a smaller one, but he has flying, so that helps. I mean, if your opponent's running another Hellkite, I mean, you can block it. I mean, you know, that seems good to me. But whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment that player controls. So it's just another way to deal with some issues that may arise on the battlefield. We're running Curiosity Crafter, so we have no maximum hand size. It's another Flyboy. Thank God it got a reprint, because this thing was up to like $15 last time it was looked at, way back in Strixhaven, I want to say it was the original printing in one of those commander decks. Yeah, it was Strixhaven, definitely based on the art. So the other thing that this is really good for is whenever a creature token you control deals combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card. Guess what? Every time we play a big dumb spell, we're going to poop out a token. We can make it a flying creature and be able to constantly draw cards. So you can see when we get set up pretty good, we should be able to draw some cards and keep our pain train going. We have Goreclaw, just a big dumb bear. It makes our creature spells a power of 4 or greater cost 2 less. So some of our really big hitters like the dragon or the Spellbreaker, they will cost 2 mana less. Even Disciple of Freyles would cost 2 mana less. So, no, wait, no, that's power. Never mind. False alarm, I lied. So we can reduce the mana cost in some of our bigger things. And then we've got her other ability, which is whenever she attacks, each creature you control with power 4 or greater gets up +1/+1 and trample. So with Goreclaw and the Spellbreaker, you can basically freely swing in, because Goreclaw is going to make them bigger with trample, and you can use Spellbreaker to be able to make sure they don't die. Then we move on to Siege Behemoth, who has Hexproof, is a gigantic 7/4, and as long as Siege Behemoth is attacking, for each creature you control, you may have that creature assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. What that means, if you've never seen this ability before, is you turn your whole team sideways, and even if somebody has enough goblins or elves or whatever to block the damage, and let's say Goreclaw or another one of our trample effects wasn't out just yet, instead of killing the team of goblins, you could just go, okay, well, I'm going to assign the damage directly to your face. Screw your creatures, I'm going to kill you. So it's a nice tricksy combat, if you will. Really, it's in here because it's a big hexproofing beast. It's really difficult for opponents to deal with it, because we have a few other ways in here to give trample with such things like the Thunderfoot Baloth. It already has trample for a 6-mana 5/5. And then it has this ability called Lieutenant, which if you've never seen before, let's go over that. So as long as you control your commander, Thunderfoot Baloth gets a +2/+2, and other creatures you control get +2/+2, and they all have trample. Not good for your opponent. Good for you, not your opponent. So you kind of can see where we're going here. We're just trying to smash with big dumb creatures, and blue is a nice way to keep our hands full and protected. Beast Whisperer, if you've seen one, you know what he does. Whenever you cast a spell, you get to draw a card. That's a creature spell. Groot's Pack Leader is just another beast, so we can get a couple of discounts out of it. It's a nice 5 drop, and then whenever a creature power 3 or greater enters the battlefield under our control, we get to draw a card. Um, that means every time we cast a spell that's 5 or greater and our commander is on the battlefield, we can make a beast if we wish and be able to keep our hand stocked. The Helioloth, I don't know, I probably butchered that, but it's okay, is a 6 mana 5/5 from Alara. One of my favorite sets, actually. And it says whenever another creature with power 5 or greater comes into play under your control, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So if for some reason a board wipe happened or we had to discard things or whatever, we could play this late game and hopefully get some of the other big hitters back, like Thunderfoot or Disciple of Freyles if we need to draw some more cards. Even Hydroid Krasis or Steel Hellkite. I mean, we've got some pretty decent hits we can get if we had to. Anything died from like a board wipe or whatever. Then we have the Thrix, the Sudden Storm. He's just a nice big dumb creature, really. He has flash and he has flying, so we can flash him out to block, something like the Trigon Predator or whatever. And then he has spells you cast with converted mana cost 5 or greater, cost 1 less to cast, and they can't be countered. So if ideal setup, we get our commander out and we turn around and drop this. If we can keep this bad boy alive, we're so happy. Man, are we happy. We're going to be just a smiling ear to ear. And I found this as a piece of old tech that I thought would be really, really cool to have in here. So whenever a beast comes into play, you may draw a card. It's a may effect, so you don't have to. But the Wirewood Savage, it just kind of fits, because we can either make a bird or a beast. It depends. Do we need more flapping blockers, or do we just need to draw more answers? So I thought it'd be a nice little tricksy kind of roundabout include for the deck. We're also running Octomancer, so we can gift an octopus to an opponent. Don't know if we really want to do that because it'd be an 8/8. We got some big boys, but I don't know. And then at the beginning of each end step, create a token that's a copy of target creature token that enters the battlefield this turn. So the only reason we would give somebody the 8/8 is obviously so we can have one ourselves. And that's not bad, but we're predominantly going to hopefully be able to cast a few instant speed spells that are mana cost 5 or bigger and be able to basically populate with this guy on everybody else's turn. Because it says each end step, not just ours. Tusk is just a classic from way back in the day in standard. When he enters the battlefield, we're going to gain 5 life. Whenever he dies, we make a 3/3 beast creature token. Then we're running the Udumwald Oddity. It already has trample, it has haste, and it's a 4/4 body. But if we pay 7 mana, it will flip. What does it flip into? The Udumwald Behemoth. It is now an 8/8 with trample, haste, and other creatures we control get +1/+1, have trample, and they also have haste. So this is a nice way to, if we're really, really late in the game, we've got a whole bunch of mana that we're not really sure what to do with. Maybe we got this guy early on and we've protected it, or whatever the case is. We can always just flip this after we make a whole bunch of beasts and maybe go in for the win, because then they would be 4/4, so trample and haste. I mean, doesn't seem pretty bad to me. Moving on to our sorceries, predominantly is a whole lot of ramp, which I need to take the. Well, no, we can leave it. We have some islands. But we're running like Farseek, Kodama's Reach, Nature's Lore, even Urban Evolution to draw 3 cards and make an additional land for our turn, Cultivate, and Rampant Growth. We're running Rishkar's Expertise and Shamanic Revelation for some extra card draw. Rishkar's will draw us cards equal to the biggest thing on our battlefield, and then we can play a spell with 5 or less without paying its mana cost. And then we have Shamanic Revelation, which will draw us a card for each creature we control, which we're trying to go wide anyway. And then for every creature with power 4 or greater, we will gain 4 life. So the hilarious exchange here would be to use Rishkar's Expertise to draw, I don't know, at least 6 cards, and then have one of them be Shamanic Revelation, so we can cast Shamanic Revelation basically for free off of Rishkar's expertise and draw another 5, 6, 20 cards, however deep we're going. It's kind of funny to do, actually. I've done it a couple of times in different decks. You just draw, and your opponents are like, oh my god. Running a single board wipe in the sorcery section, which is Azuri's Predation. It just synergizes so well. It makes us 4/4 beasts, and then each one of the beasts that we control will fight a creature our opponents control, and we get as many equal to the number of creatures our opponents control. So if you were to fight, like, I don't know, a Krenko deck, and they have, like, an army of creatures on that battlefield, let's say they got, I don't know, 10, and you're really afraid you could drop this late game, if it's late game, and make you 10 4/4 beasts. You just dropped 40 power on the battlefield. 43 power of our commander's out, because when you cast this, you're going to make another beast. You kill all the goblins, hopefully, in theory, if they're just 1/1s, and then he's pretty much going to die. Finally, we are running Overwhelming Stampede. So until end of turn, creatures you control gain trample, and they get +X/+X, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. So looking back through real quick on our budget option, we have a 5/5, we have a 7. This could be anything, so I'm not really going to count that. Thunderfoot Baloth, he kind of depends on our commander. So the biggest natural thing is going to be a +7/+7. It could be bigger if we have the Uvenwald Behemoth out at base power. He's an 8. If you include the Thunderfoot Baloth, he would be the absolute biggest thing as a 10/10. So we could really just swing in and end the game. We're running Arcane Denial, Negate, and Counterspell just for a light counterspell package. We're trying to be kind of powerful, but not like back-breaking. I don't really like playing decks where I just like stomp the entire battlefield. Like I want to have games that make people go, "Oh my god, dude, what is that?" So I tend to make decks that are the medium of the power level. I can make them stronger, sure, but to me that's no fun. You built a 100-card deck, you kind of want to see your cards do their thing and see if your deck building was accurate in what you're trying to do, or if it, oopsies, we didn't do what we were trying to do. So that's why I'm only running 3 counter spells in the deck. We could add more if we feel we need to. We have Beast Within, Nature's Claim, Frozen Grip, and Return to Nature to deal with some problematic permanents. Growth Spiral is just another way to help us ramp a little bit and draw a card. Return to the Wild Speaker. It can make our army swing for bigger damage, but predominantly we're going to use it instant speed to draw a whole bunch of cards. And if we fear that a board wipe is going to happen and we don't want to lose a lot of our big key pieces, we can always play our other board wipe, Evacuation, to return all creatures to their owner's hands. It's actually hilarious to keep this up because, again, let's go with a Krenko deck. Let's see Krenko's turning sideways at us and we don't have much life. Well, we've got a 50-50 shot if they have any kind of way to stop us. Red does have some counterspell potential. We can at least play an Evacuation, make a body of our commanders out, and hopefully bounce everything back to everybody's hands and get rid of that army. Otherwise, we die. Got nothing to lose, really. Either you win or you lose. Moving on forward, we got a pretty standard sweep of mana rocks and artifacts, I would just say. Arcane Signet, the Soul Ring, the Boots, Talisman, Thought's Vessel, Mind Stone, Felwar Stone, Prismatic Lens, which is one not a lot of people remember, and of course our Simic Signet. One of the fun pieces I threw in here, I would love to build this deck and give it a try, but it's the Combined Chrysalis. Chrysalis? But it's a Simic, and then you can play it, and then creature tokens you control have flying. This means we don't really care too much about making our 2/2 Drakes at this point, because all of our 3/3 beasts now fly. Ouch. And then we can pay 2 a blue, and a green to sacrifice a token and make a 4/4 beast creature token. We can only do it as a sorcery. So if we felt like we needed a little bit more beef onto the battlefield to actually kill somebody, if we're lacking, I don't know, a couple points of damage, we could always do this and trade in a bird for a beast and maybe draw some cards with a lot of the other draw capability that we have in the deck already. This is where I get kind of really, really evil. We're running up the beanstalk because a lot of our deck is 5 or greater. So when it enters and whenever we cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, we're going to draw a bunch of cards. Garruk's Uprising, when it enters, we get to draw a card if we have something power 4 or greater. Creatures we control have trample. And more importantly, whenever a creature power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under our control, we're able to draw a card. So happy this got another reprint. I love throwing this in green decks that play big dumb things because it's a home run, guys. It's just a home run. Something from Modern Horizons 3 is Kozilek's Unsealing. So it's a nice 2 and a blue enchantment that after it comes into play, it will have no color. It will be a colorless permanent. So whenever you cast a spell with mana value 4, 5, or 6, we get to make 2 Eldrazi spawn creature tokens that we can sack to add more mana. So that's not bad at all. And then whenever we cast something with a mana value 7 or greater that's a creature, we're able to draw 3 cards off that. Now, let me go back up to our deck list here, to our creatures, and let's just see how good that actually is. I don't believe it's going to be that great. I see 1 and I see 2. So we're not potentially 3 with the Hydroid Krasis. We're not looking to trigger that ability too often, but we are looking to be able to make some bodies and just put bodies on the battlefield and kind of protect us. Because if we turn our beasts and everything sideways, we're pretty much going to be left defenseless. And we don't want that to happen. I'm also going to run Primeval Bounty in this deck. It's a pretty big cost at 6 mana. But hear me out. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 3/3 green beast creature token. Notice the theme here. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put 3 1/1 counters on target creature control. And then finally, it has a landfall because of course it does. Whenever a land you control enters the battlefield, you get to gain 3 life. So you get bonuses just for playing the game when this is out late game. You play your land, you gain 3 life. You play, I don't know, Urban Evolution, you get to draw 3 cards, you make something bigger, and you get to play a land, which means you're also going to make yourself gain 3 more life. And then if you happen to slam some big dumb fatty from the deck, you're going to make another beast. This is awesome. And then finally, we're running the biggest hammer of all with Unnatural Growth. It's 4 mana plus 1. At the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. So this could turn our wonderful 3/3 beast into giant 6/6 beat sticks. And with something like Garruk's Uprising out, that's all she's gonna write, guys. It ain't gonna get much better. I do think I might do a slight upgrade here, cause we got some things from Bloomburrow, and I think they would do really good in this deck. It's been a while since I've upgraded it. I do want to kind of watch our price a little bit here, because we're creeping up past where I wanted to be. Our land base is kind of standard. Reliquary Towers, we have no max hand size. Temple to Scry, Expanse, and the Wilds Earth, so we can fetch. Field of Ruin, I'm telling y'all, I always have one. It almost never fails, guys. And it came in handy. Came in handy. Like I said, went to my local game store. Again, shout out to Green Brothers. They are not a sponsor, just where I like to go play Magic. And one of our fellow competitors in our final pod of the night was running a Valakut the Molten Pinnacle. I actually had a Ghost Quarter in the deck I was using and used it to blow up that so we didn't just die. Running Exotic Orchard because it's a rainbow land basically. Dreamroot Cascade is another rainbow land. It got printed in a deck for Modern Horizons 3, so it's budget friendly. Command Tower Rainbow. Hinterland Harbor. It got printed in the commander deck. So did the Coast and the Snarl. So they're all pretty budget friendly options to fix your mana. Thunder's Enclave was also printed in a commander deck, and it is budget friendly. Thank God, because I love this card. So you can tap 3, tap it to draw a card, activate only if you control a creature of power 4 or greater. Well, we're running a whole bunch of big fatties, so love it, love it, love it, love it. They're running 12 forests, and we're running 13 forests and 12 islands. We have a total of 37 lands in this deck. We're running 38 if you include the Freyleys that can be a flip card. So overall, I think we're pretty okay here. I don't think this is too much to ask for, honestly. Like I don't think this is bad. So I do want to see if we go to EDH Rec for our recommendations on this build and just kind of go over a few things. I mean, yeah, if you bought this precon from Lord of the Rings, you could throw this in here because it was in there already. We can use a burp if we really felt like it. A rampaging Balos probably wouldn't be a bad swap for something. Not really sure what I would swap for it, but it would be interesting. You have Elder Gargaroth. You can be really mean with Manglehorn. Of course, everybody knows Heroic Intervention. The Hoof Daddy. Hoof Daddy is always good. Uh, Owlbear Cub might be kind of funny. Elemental Bond is another big source of card draw. What else do we have here? Tribute to the World Tree, another big source of card draw. I was gonna do Amati into the deck, but I think Amati fits better as the helm of her own deck, which I built before, and it does some damage. Ravenous Baloth might not hurt to try and wiggle its way in, so you can sack a beast and gain 4 life. So if a board wipe's fixing to happen, you can do that and, protect yourself. I mean, if they're all gonna die anyway, get some value out of it. Great Hinge is another pump slash card draw capability. Inga and Asika, I thought about maybe throwing them in as well because they do help us ramp, and creatures we control have vigilance. Adrix and Niv, they're fairly budget friendly. I think they just saw another reprint in the commander deck as well. They'll double our tokens. Yabamaya is another good land. Pongify blows up something that's a creature. Second Harvest allow now that it's been reprinted in Innistrad Remastered, thank God. Pretty budget friendly. You could instant speed, make extra token copies. Gwenna would be fun in here because we play big dumb things where we can untap her when it's a creature that's 5 or greater and put a 1 counter on it. Mother Goose might be interesting just because, we can put a bunch of mana into it and we'll make half that many foods and we can always sack a food and draw a card whenever she attacks. I don't think it's going to be worthy to have in here, but, you could see. This might be fun, the Summerwald Beastmaster. When it enters, you make a 2/2 wolf, a 3/3 bear, and a 4/4, well, a 3/3 beast and a 4/4 beast. Man, that's a little confusing. I don't understand that. Why didn't you just make it a bear and then a beast? Wolf, bear, beast. I mean, that makes sense, but whatever. Or, a wolf, elk, beast, since there's an elk right there. Moving on, though. Creature tokens you control have Death Touch, so that could be interesting. Beastmaster Ascension, always good. I mean, it makes our stuff really, really big. Caller of the Pack, that might be kind of funny. At 7 mana, it's a 8/6 trampling boy that when you attack somebody, you can spread the love. Fable of Wolf and Owl, really, really nice card. So whenever you cast a green spell, you may put a 2/2 green wolf creature token into play. When you cast a blue spell, you may put a 1/1 bird creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Pretty fun. Grix's Horde, I don't really think would be great. Yeah, there's the typical doubling season, Swan Song, even the Questing Beast. Vivian might be kind of fun in here because she makes more beasts. And you could give a vigilance counter, reach counter, or a trample counter on the beast that she makes. Rapid Hide that allows you to blow up something. Rift, we all know what Rift does. Parallel Lives is, again, more tokens. Loot might be actually really fun to throw in here now. He will make sure we make our land drops because we are running quite a bit. We can make an additional land drop. And then we can just use his ability to go find more big dumb things. Yeah. The Cultivator Colossus would be a giant hammer in the deck as well. Asceticism came in the precon, so you could always throw it in here. So all of our things have hex proof. That would be pretty bad. There's some more card draw here. You got tutor capability, better lands. Raise the Palisade would be hilarious because we choose a creature and return all creatures that aren't the chosen type to their owner's hands. You got more counter magic if you feel like you need it. Some more card draw with Kindred Discovery. You could go more flying tribal with like Mockingbird kind of effect. Perplexing Test wouldn't be bad if you felt like you needed another board wipe. Blossoming Beast is another good thing to think about throwing in. Because whenever it attacks, you gain 2 life. The creatures you control gain life, gain trample, and +X until end of turn, where X is amount of life you gain this turn. So that could be kind of fun. Everybody knows about Studies, Sirach, and Goreclaw. They're an amazing truck, but I like them better as the Helmet of Commander deck. Again, better mana, and you got Kiora you can throw in if you really think you need that much more card draw. You can do it. Fanatic Aronos allows us to ramp harder. You got Kona, Rescue Beastie to be able to just keep dropping big dumb fatties. You have the Gilded Lotus to ramp really hard. Thassa, the Biden of Thassa allows us to draw some more cards. And this Shriekward Devourers, whenever you attack with one or more creatures, untap up to X lands where X is the greatest power among those creatures. So this could be kind of fun too. That's pretty much what we got for today in our deck build. But let's go and just kind of look at the stats a little bit. So pretty high on our 2 drops. You can see we're not too bad on our 5 and over. We're mainly a green deck with a splash of blue. Let's see. We got 2 lands. We could play a land, draw a card. Oh, that's perfect. Play another land, play up the Beanstalk. Play a 3rd land, cast a Signet, keep counter magic open, Commander's out. Play another land, so now we have up to 5. Probably this Uvenwald Oddity. Play that, keep counter magic open. Play that, and let's play this Predator probably. I mean, yeah, we could do some things. I like this. This hand, I don't like. We are not ramping. We're not hitting hard. We're not doing anything. So I would ship that one. This one's better. This one would be a lot better. I like this a lot. So turn 1 is Forest into Elvish Mystic. Turn 3 is Island, casting Beanstalk. Turn 4, we're going to miss. Oh, hold on. We draw a card. Turn 4, we're going to hit Prismatic Lens. And if we tap... Well, no, it doesn't matter how we tap. We won't be able to do anything else we want to do. This way we could. So we could drop this, and then we could drop a Farseek, go find a land, shuffle, and all that. We could actually be cheeky, just pass the turn if we felt like it, or we could actually just play our commander, play another land, probably Farseek something, well, Kodama's Reach something, or just start Kozilek's Unsealing probably. So yeah, I like the way the deck runs, at least on the computer. It seems like it's going to be a fun deck. There's a lot of different ways you can upgrade Radagast here and do some pretty bad shenanigans. For instance, you can actually go through and take out all of the permanents in here that are 3 or less, that are less than 3 mana in our deck here, which is kind of hurtful a little bit, won't lie, but you could do it, and you could have a companion for the deck if you felt like it, and really just do some stupid things. But Everybody, this is the deck tech I have for you today. Please do not hesitate to show me some love and make the all-powerful YouTube algorithm happy. Leave me a comment, leave me a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Um, and let me know what you're hoping to see. Is there a deck I can build for you on here to give you some ideas? Is there maybe a rules question that you're not really sure of? I'm not a judge, but I can explain things to the best of my ability. Um, and give me a share. Give me some love, people. I've got some projects I'm trying to get up off the ground, and we're gonna see where we can take this channel. So I've been your Buddha Dragon. Please don't forget like, share, comment, subscribe. Heck, ring that bell so you know when I'm posting new videos. Don't forget, rub that belly for mana, and may your games be filled with luck. Until the next time, peace out.